I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with the No Half Step in hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're getting educated about the show, that's when you click on that merchandise tab. Going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store. Whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, makes no difference to the Renegades of Puck. After all, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent hockey operation, so here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. Jump in the trenches on X or perhaps on Facebook, maybe Instagram, try Threads. We're also on TikTok. Whatever platform you prefer, it doesn't take you but a second. It certainly doesn't cost you anything, but it sure goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck. So that's social media and how you can help us out. You can also support the show by going to YouTube and searching out Renegades of Puck and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Catch all the latest episodes of the podcast, plus all of our breakdown, recap segments, preview segments, interviews, and so much more right there on easy-to-navigate playlists on our YouTube channel. That is the future of all podcasting, is to have a video element, and we are focusing right now and through the playoff run exclusively on our YouTube channel. So please check us out over there and make sure you pass those links along. Stick taps, love, and respect to everybody who has subscribed to the channel recently. We sure do appreciate that. Venmo, that's how you can support the show financially. You can make a donation by searching Renegades of Puck in Venmo or scanning the QR code that is currently on your screen. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck, and every penny goes directly to this operation right here. We have built this thing from the ground up, thanks to generous Renegades just like you watching at home right now. We sure do appreciate everybody who's taken the time and made a donation. Again, support your local Renegades today by scanning the QR code that is currently on your screen. Now listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step in hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It is time for operation number 901. That's right, we've crossed over another milestone number, and now it's time for show number 901. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division with a clinched playoff spot. They have skated in 79 games on the season. They have a record of 49, 29, and 5, 95 points. Has the Predators 7 points shy of the third place Winnipeg Jets, but 8 points ahead of the fifth place St. Louis Blues, and a little X indicating they have clinched their playoff spot. On the road, which is where the Nashville Predators' next game will take place in Chicago, the Predators have a record of 23, 13, and 3. Preds have scored 256 goals in the season. They've given up 239. It's a goal differential of plus 17. Updating you on the entirety of the Central Division standings and the wild card. The Dallas Stars are taking control in the final games of the season of the Central Division. After 79 games skated, they have 109 points. They are 5 points clear of the second place Colorado Avalanche, also skated in 79 games. So 3 games remain and a 5-point lead for the Dallas Stars. The Winnipeg Jets have fallen 7 points behind first place, do have 1 more game, so they do have 4 games remaining on the schedule, but at 102 points, they'd have to win every single game and have the 2 teams above them lose virtually every single point to make it to first place. Looks like the 2-3 matchup and trying to get home ice advantage is the best the Winnipeg Jets are going to be able to accomplish. The Nashville Predators in fourth place, but with a playoff spot clinched in the wild card race, 95 points. The St. Louis Blues, the only team that does not have an X or an E next to them in the Central Division, so they are all alone here at the end of the season. 87 points has them 8 points behind the Nashville Predators. The Minnesota Wild are in sixth place with 83 points. The Arizona Coyotes have 71 points, and the Preds' next opponent, the Blackhawks, have 51 points. 44 points behind the Nashville Predators. They are almost as far behind the Preds as they have total points. The Chicago Blackhawks have 51 points on the season. They find themselves 44 points behind the Nashville Predators for a wild card spot. In the wild card race, Preds hold wild card 1, and this is going to be important. Vegas holds wild card 2 with 92 points, 3 points behind Nashville. The only other team not eliminated is the St. Louis Blues, 5 points currently behind Vegas for that final playoff playoff spot, but Vegas is also 1 point behind LA, so LA could also be factored into this wild card race at this moment in time. If we were going by the old conference rankings, the Predators would actually be the number 6 seed overall, would be heading for a playoff matchup seemingly against the Colorado Avalanche, but the Nashville Predators currently hold the wild card 1 spot, which would get them the best of 7 first round against the number 2 division winner, which would currently be the Vancouver Canucks Pacific Division. Now, let's get into what is to come moving forward. Now that we're done with the standings updates, the Predators will have 2 games remaining on the schedule after this game in Chicago. Saturday night will be versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, shirts off their back, close out the home regular season schedule. Then Monday in Pittsburgh to close out the regular season schedule period. Then we will await the Nashville Predators opponent and schedule. Of course, they will be opening on the road for games 1 and 2 because they will be a wild card team. Now, we need to talk about the regular season series, which the Nashville Predators will be closing out against the division rival Chicago Blackhawks. Let's go back to the first time they met. It was November the 18th. The Preds defeated the Blackhawks at Bridgestone Arena 4-2. Lankinen got the victory, 29 out of 31. Smith scored 2 goals. Trenton Nyquist chipped in with goals. Soderblom got the loss for the Hawks, 27 out of 30. Kurashev and Johnson scored the goals. On the 5th of December, the Predators scored a victory in Chicago, 4-3 in the shootout. UC Saros gets the win, 25 out of 28. O'Reilly, Jankowski, Evangelista with the goals. O'Reilly also adds the shootout game-winning goal. Soderblom took the loss again, 27 out of 30. Foligno, 2 goals for the Blackhawks in that game. These two teams would meet a third time on January the 2nd. The Predators would score a 3-0 victory at Bridgestone Arena. UC Saros gets the shutout, rather light workload in that game, 21 saves. Nyquist, O'Reilly, Evangelista each score the goals for the Predators. Soderblom again takes the loss for the Blackhawks, 33 out of 35. So the Predators 3-0 against Chicago this season, 6 out of 6 on points gained, and they've outscored Chicago 11-5. Now, taking a look at the other side of the ledger, the Chicago Blackhawks, the home team in this game. The Hawks have skated in 77 games in the season. They have a record of 23, 49, and 5, 51 points, has them in 8th place in the Central Division. On home ice, which is where this game will be taking place, 16, 19, and 4 is their record. They've scored 169 goals in the season. They've given up 268. That's a goal differential of minus 99. In their most recent stretch of action, go back 5 games, it was the 28th of March when they scored a 2-0 loss at the Ottawa Senators. On the 30th of March, a 5-1 win at the Philadelphia Flyers. On the 2nd of April, a 2-1 loss at the New York Islanders. On the 6th of April, a 3-2 win versus the Dallas Stars. Not an easy thing to do. On the 7th of April, their most recent game skated a 4-0 loss versus the Minnesota Wild. And on Wednesday, they will be in St. Louis before heading on back home to face off against the Nashville Predators on Friday. When it comes to the NHL rankings, the matchup here, the Nashville Predators are going to be ahead in almost every single metric that we talk about, except for one. Can you guess which one it is before we even get started? In the goals for category, the Predators 3.20 per game is 13th best in the NHL. Over a goal more than the Chicago Blackhawks per game at 2.18. The Blackhawks find themselves at 32nd and last in the NHL. In the goals against category, the Predators giving a 3.03 per game. That's 14th overall in the NHL. 3.47 for Chicago puts them at 29th overall. In the shots for category, shots on goal, Predators now up to 32.1 per game. That is 8th overall in the NHL, and they have been putting up incredible amounts of shot volume in their recent stretch of games. The Blackhawks at 26.7 shots per game are 30th overall in the league. The Preds are giving up 30.5 shots against per game. That's 20th. The Chicago Blackhawks are giving up 32.6 per game. That's 27th overall in the NHL. When it comes to the power play, the Predators are ahead in this particular metric, 19th best power play in the league with a 20.2% conversion rate, 53 out of 262 on the season. When it comes to Chicago Blackhawks power play, 28th overall in the league, 16.5% conversion rate, only 37 conversions on 224 power play opportunities. And here's the metric that I was teasing, the penalty kill. The Chicago Blackhawks, 77.4% kill rate, is 22nd overall in the NHL. They've given up just 49 power play goals against, while the Predators have a 76.9% kill rate. That is 23rd in the NHL, one spot behind Chicago. They have given up 55 power play goals against, 6 more than the Blackhawks. Each and every team in the NHL has high-skilled individuals. We always like to talk about the top 5 individual scores for each of these teams. Let's start on the home team side with Chicago Blackhawks, and who is going to be your Rookie of the Year. Connor Bedard, 22 goals, 37 assists, 59 points. Kurashev's at 16 and 35 for 51. Nick Foligno has 2 goals against the Predators this season, 17 total on the year, 20 assists at that for 37 points. Dickinson, 21 goals, 13 assists, 34 points. And Seth Jones, 8 goals and 22 assists for 30 points overall in the season. On On the Nashville Predators side of the ledger, these numbers quite impressive compared to other seasons in franchise history. First time in franchise history, the Predators are going to have 4 players finish with above 60 points. Philip Forsberg, 43 goals and 46 assists for 89 points overall, paces the team. He is 7 points shy of the all-time franchise record and tied currently for the goals in a season record. The captain, Roman Josi, had 21 goals and 59 assists for 80 points on the year. Gus Nyquist, 22 and 54, 72. World-class distribution service for Gus Nyquist. Ryan O'Reilly's now got 26 goals and 40 assists for 66 points. Tommy Novak, all he does is make plays for 16 goals and 25 assists. That's a total of 41 points on the season. Anticipated goaltending matchup, Kevin Lankinen will get the start for the Nashville Predators as he has in the first of back-to-backs all season long. 10-6-0 is his record, 905 save percentage, 2.82 goals against average, and 3 shutouts on the season. Might be one of his last 2 starts. Monday in Pittsburgh, I would anticipate the Nashville Predators letting Lankinen take that start, especially if playoff positioning and everything is completely sewed up by that point in time. Soderblom for the Chicago Blackhawks is 0-3 against the Nashville Predators this season with an overall record of 5-21-1 and 8.80 save percentage, 3.90 goals against average, no shutouts on the season. That's got you all set up for the Nashville Predators' first of back-to-backs in Chicago, then back home for the close of the regular season home schedule against the Columbus Blue Jackets. But first, got to go to Chicago and take care of it. An opportunity to sweep the regular season series, and those 8 points incredibly important on this season. That's what they have been. All right, let's go back and talk about the Nashville Predators' last game where they clinched their playoff berth. It was against the Winnipeg Jets. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and what an exciting recap it's about to be. Back after this on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We go all the way back to April the 9th, the year 2024, when the Nashville Predators were welcoming in the Winnipeg Jets for the final time. This regular season, head coach Andrew Brunette deploys his line combinations and defensive pairings in the following way. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Zucker, Sissons, and Jankowski, Beauvillier, Novak, Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood. So just a little bit of shifting around there amongst the middle of the forward lines. McDonough and Josi, Luzon and Carrier, Stastny, and Shen are your defensive pairings. UC Saros gets the start in net. Our first piece of action comes a minute and 3 seconds into the game when Lowry is off to the box. 2 minutes for interference. Hellebuck comes up with a save on Luke Evangelista. That would be the first shot on goal of the game. Hellebuck then comes up with a save on Philip Forsberg, and then Hellebuck would come up with one more save on Colton Sissons in his backhand scoring attempt before the end of the Nashville Predators power play. With the first special teams action out of the way in just the first 3 minutes, we return to 5-on-5 action. That's where we find it 3:28. Hellebuck comes up with a save on Sherwood at 4:05 of the first period. Tommy Novak scores his 16th goal of the season, breaking through and putting the Nashville Predators ahead 1-0. It was a strong drive to the net and a tuck-in. There was going to be a delayed penalty called, but no reason for that penalty as Novak finishes the play for his 16th. At the 6:06 mark of the first period, it's McCarron off to the box, 2 minutes for holding. That's where we find the Winnipeg Jets going to work on their power play. It would not take long before Velarde would score his 20th goal of the season, tying it up at 1 apiece, but that's not the whole story. Through the legs, shoots from behind far side, easily a 5-star highlight reel goal. Probably makes the NHL end of the week, end of the month, maybe end of the season goals package. Velarde truly with an astonishing highlight reel goal right there, ties the game up at 1 apiece. 7:09 mark of the first period. Hellebuck comes up with a save on Tommy Novak at 8:19 of the first period. Scheifele picks up his 24th of the season, putting Winnipeg now up 2-1. Forsberg could not get the puck out of the zone, turned it over at the blue line, and that ends up in the back of the net rather quickly. The Jets seem to be skating and moving just a little bit faster than the Preds at this point in the first period. The 9-minute mark, Pionk's off to the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. You'd see Hellebuck come with a save on Zucker's one time, but that would be it for the Nashville Predators on this power play. The 10:27 mark of the first period, it's Saros coming with a save on Iafallo at the 11:28 mark. Saros Saros a save on Stanley, but at 12:46 of first period, Saros cannot come up with this one as DeMello scores his third goal of the season, giving the Winnipeg Jets a 3-1 lead here in the first period at Bridgestone Arena. The Predators just sloppy with the puck and sloppy in their own end for several minutes now, giving up 3 goals to the Winnipeg Jets on barely any more shots than that on goal. 14:53 of the first period. Saros comes up with a save on Ehlers. 17:13 the first. Hellebuck comes up with a save on McCarron plus Cole Smith jam times 2. Great scoring opportunity for the Predators right here, but Hellebuck stands tall. 19:15 of the first period. I follow off to the box. 2 minutes for roughing. That's where we find Hellebuck come up with a save on Forsberg before the end of the first period. Carryover of a minute and 15 into the second period. The Predators, though, at the end of the first period do outshoot Winnipeg 14-10, but it is the Jets with 3 goals on the board. In that minute and 15 carryover into the second period, Hellebuck comes with 1 save on Roman Josi, and that would be it for the power play. Back to 5-on-5 hockey, and we found ourselves at 2:06 of the second period with Hellebuck coming with a save on Jankowski. 2:37. Saros comes up with a save on Monahan at the 3:50 mark. Hellebuck a save on Stastny at the 6:04 mark of the second period. Hellebuck comes with a save on Luke Evangelista on the doorstep, and Evangelista was buzzing in this game. 7:38 of the second period. Hellebuck comes up with a save on Sherwood. 8:13. Another save on Luke Evangelista. At 9:50 of the second period, we find Pionk off the box again. 2 minutes for tripping on Philip Forsberg, and this is going to cross us over the midway point in this game, and Connor Hellebuck is going to have to put up some big work right here as he makes yet another save on Luke Evangelista. Then Hellebuck comes up with a save on Roman Josi, and then before the end of the power play comes up with one more save on the captain, Roman Josi. We're at the 12:22 mark now of the second period, and Hellebuck is coming in with a save on Luzon. 14:22. This was one of the more impressive saves of the game for Hellebuck. A save on Beauvillier with the mask. Rattled him just a little bit, but good enough to fight it off. The Predators' 30th shot on goal in this game, coming at the 14:22 mark of the second period. The 15:30 mark of the second period. It's Hellebuck coming up with a save on Carey, plus the rebound jam by Ryan O'Reilly. 16:01 in the second period. Now Hellebuck comes with a save on McDonough. 16:56 mark of the second period. We find Jankowski off to the box. 2 minutes for interference. He was irate about this penalty call. You don't see a lot of emotion out of Jankowski. He certainly disagreed with the call, but his teammates bailed him out of the bad situation. 0 shots given up by the Nashville Predators penalty kill. As a matter of fact, I would label that as an outstanding effort on the PK overall. We hit the 19:10 mark. We're in the final minute of the second period now, and Hellebuck is coming with a save on yet again Luke Evangelista. 19:52 of the second. One more time for Hellebuck. A save on Tommy Novak, and the Nashville Predators close out the second period with 36 total shots on goal for the game. The Winnipeg Jets are at 16, so Winnipeg has 6 shots on goal in the second period, 10 in the first, 6 in the second. The Preds go from 14 in the first period to 36 at the end of the second period, so credited with 22 shots on goal in the second period. We roll over into the third period. We'll see if the Nashville Predators can continue building on that momentum in the shot disparity. 1:26 now into the third period. It's Hellebuck coming in with a save on Smith. That led to a large scrum, which led to McCarron and Stanley separating out from the pack there in the slot area and having a good go of it. It would be McCarron taking on the much taller Stanley. It would only take one punch from McCarron to end this fight, and it connected absolutely solidly the entirety of the rink. Everybody in the building off of their feet, screaming and roaring at Bridgestone Arena as the two are escorted to the box for 5 minutes each. If you believe in the momentum of a fight, then this fight is about to create some momentum for the Nashville Predators. At 3:28 of the third period, it's Hellebuck coming up with a save on Luke Evangelista's drag move across the low slot. This was another strong play by Connor Hellebuck. Also a very strong play by Luke Evangelista. A lot of confidence in his offense. At the 3:54 mark of the third period, it's Hellebuck coming with a save on Philip Forsberg. 5:31 now of the third period. It's Jankowski getting another tough call against him. This time it's 2 minutes for tripping. He again disagrees with this call, and well, frankly, so do I. Saros comes up with a save on Scheifele. Then Saros does come up with a save on Velarde at the 7:34 mark of the third period. Now back to 5-on-5 hockey. It is Stastny scoring his second goal of the season. He knocks the rebound out of the air, but you got to rewind and take it all all back to where Sherwood started the play. Hard on the forecheck, forces the turnover, gains possession for the Predators, and that allows them to reverse the puck around the zone, putting it on net, and that's where Stastny comes in, putting the rebound in out of the air. Great hand-eye coordination. Winnipeg still leads the game, but now just by 1 goal, 3-2 at the 8:25 mark of the third period. We find Hellebuck coming up with a save on who else but Luke Evangelista at the 9:41 mark of the third period. It is Ryan O'Reilly with his 26th goal of the season, a wrist shot from the slot after a slick delay move threw off Hellebuck's timing. This ties the game up at 3 apiece. Nashville 3, Winnipeg 3. Half a period to go. 12:53 now into the third period, and it's UC Saros coming with a save on Monahan after Carrier blocks 2 big-time shots. This was a big defensive sequence for this Nashville Predators team. At the 13:08 mark of the third period, it's Saros coming with a save on DeMello at 14:19 of the third period. It's Hellebuck coming with a save on Tommy Novak at the 17:13 mark of the third. It is Hellebuck coming up with a save on Roman Josi, 18:37. Hellebuck comes up with one more save on Sherwood. The teams lock things down and hold tight, each acquiring a point, which of course is of pivotal importance to this Nashville Predators team because that 1 point clinches the Nashville Predators playoff berth for this season. But we move on with this particular game. At the end of regulation, Nashville Predators outshoot Winnipeg 48-20. So the Predators had another 12 shots on goal in the third period and a 2-goal comeback to get this game to overtime. We're 23 seconds into the OT session, and it's UC Saros coming with a save on Morrissey. But at the 1:52 mark, after the Preds could not cash in on their opportunity, Connor finishes off a 2-on-1 for his 32nd goal of the season. Scheifele was the other member of that 2-on-1. That gives the Winnipeg Jets the game-winning goal. 4-3 is your final score in the overtime session. The Nashville Predators do outshoot the Winnipeg Jets for the game 48-22. And while it's tough to have the big 2-goal comeback and the huge emotional lift and then lose the game, what mattered the most, the single mission of this game, was to secure that point and clinch your playoff spot. And the Nashville Predators did exactly that in this game. It was a hell of a comeback. The Predators had a terrible section of the first period, but then through the second period, tons of pressure. The third period, tons of pressure, breaking through finally on Hellebuck and getting themselves back in this game. A 2-goal comeback is impressive stuff and happened on the home rink, and the home crowd was absolutely jacked. Got a big fight, got a couple standing ovations, a big comeback, and they secured the point to clinch a playoff spot. That's a big night at the home rink for the Nashville Predators, even though they fall in overtime to the Jets. That's going to do it for the Reroad Sports full game recap. Coming up, analysis and so much more right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in. That was the Reverb Sports full game recap. Now let's get into the analysis and some opinion on that game. And congratulations to the Nashville Predators for clinching a playoff spot. Very few people thought the Nashville Predators would make it to this point in the season. Very, very few pundits out there predicted the Nashville Predators would clinch with games remaining, with a couple of games to go in the season. So congratulations to the Nashville Predators getting back to the playoffs. First year under head coach Andrew Brunette. That's got to put him in consideration for the Jack Adams Trophy. UC Saros 18 out of 22 in this game. Kind of hung out to dry in the first, wasn't he? Turnover by Philip Forsberg at the blue line. A little bit of lazy and slow play. The Winnipeg Jets were just jumping all over the Predators. But after the first period, UC Saros played really outstanding. As a matter of fact, he faced a very light workload, and that in itself brings its own set of difficulties, but he was outstanding afterwards. I gave up the goal to lose the game on the 2-on-1, but there was very little that could be done. He did what he could do to help them get that point. But the first period, really rough. Second second, third, outstanding for UC Stars, even though the workload was fairly light. Tommy Novak scores a goal in this game, also has 4 shots on goal. That was one confident drive to the net and finish where Hellebuck was robbing Luke Evangelista left and right all night long, and several other Predators. Tommy Novak had the confidence to just drive straight to net. Earned, firstly, a power play for his team, but they didn't need to capitalize on that because he put the puck in the net. That was one confident, high-skilled drive to the net and finish for Tommy Novak in his 16th goal of the season. Stastny picks up a goal in this game, and he's proving that he belongs every time that he's out there in the lineup. And is it just me, or does he play like he has way more experience than he actually does? Rarely do I find myself even thinking about Stastny being so inexperienced at the NHL level. He seems calm, confident, comfortable, all of those things at the same time out there. And this goal that he scored, this was some high skill to bat the puck out of the air and into the net. But again, Stastny making case where other defensemen have taken 2-3 seasons to look like they're as comfortable as Stastny is in the lineup. I think that Stastny has a long future in this NHL. He just seems so comfortable with such little experience at this moment. O'Reilly picks up a goal. He gets the game-tying goal, and you talk about a veteran goal to earn a playoff point. First year, signing with the new team, brought in to be a leader, to be a veteran, and to be a part of big moments. Is there any bigger moment than scoring the goal that puts your team into the playoffs? Well, yeah, and those are opportunities that are still to come over the course of the middle of April into May into June. But this moment in time in Ryan O'Reilly's Nashville Predators history, he's put up 66 points, and his 26th goal clinches the Nashville Predators a return to the playoffs. A huge veteran moment, and that's exactly why he was signed and brought in. Sherwood, the no half-stepping effort in this game, just absolutely the essence of no half-stepping on that forecheck, turning the puck over, setting up the Nashville Predators to score a goal. He had 2 assists in this game, and the word relentless has been thrown around so much on the broadcast as of late, but 2 assists, 2 shots on goal, 5 hits, and only 13:09 in total time on ice. You talk about maximizing every second of time out there. He really, I know Chris Mason calls him the huntsman, but he really does hunt for battle and for loose pucks and competes harder than anybody else. I like to say guys like that are 60-40 guys, maybe 70-30 guys. Sherwood's becoming an 80-20 guy. When he goes into the corner and he goes to battle, he's coming away with the puck way more often than he isn't. So you got to give Sherwood the credit for his efforts in this game. Also chipped in a minute 17 in shorthanded time on ice. And you can't wrap up the analysis of this game without mentioning Luke Evangelista and his 10 shots on goal. Listen, just absolutely owned by Connor Hellebuck. Some of those scoring chances were otherworldly. They were truly upper-level scoring chances for Luke Evangelista all throughout this game. And I made the notation afterwards, just play like that every game. Luke Evangelista will have a lengthy career as a premier scoring forward in the NHL if he can play every game the way he played that one last night. There are going to be few goalies in the league that can turn away 10 shots and 2 more missed, so 12 opportunities by one powerful winger coming in over and over and over again. And it was from the rush. It was from sharp angles. It was good shots. It was all kinds of things. Luke Evangelista really opening the toolbox in this one and showing a lot of confidence. If he continues to play like that night in and night out, his career with the Nashville Predators, his career in the NHL will be lengthy, and he will win many, many awards. Let's hear from our good friends at Stripe Digital Solutions. After that, we'll get the good cold hard numbers known as the box score. We'll close this thing up, and we'll start talking about the Nashville Predators in the NHL playoffs.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. Welcome back in. Good cold hard numbers known as the box score. Your goal scorers for the Nashville Predators, Tommy Novak and Ryan O'Reilly. Also add Stastny to that list. When it comes to assists, the captain, Roman Josi, had 2 in this game. Sherwood had 2. Nyquist had 1 to add to that. Shots on goal, Luke Evangelista, I've already mentioned it, 10 shots on goal. Far outpaced everybody else on the team, but several players also with some nice numbers. Forsberg with 4 shots on goal. Novak with 4. Cole Smith with 4. Roman Josi also chips in 4 shots on goal. Zucker and O'Reilly with 3. So for the Nashville Predators, impressive stuff in the shots on goal category. When it comes to block shots, it was 4 for Roman Josi and 3 for McDonough. The physical component of the game, it was Luzon with 5 hits in this game. Sherwood with 5 hits. Zucker looked really good physical, jamming this with 4. So Luzon needs to average 7 hits per game over the final 3 games of the season in order to break the NHL record. He moved into 5th all-time after these 5 hits in this game. And for the Nashville Predators, the hits were numerous at 28 total, but they were also massive. Open ice hits, big hits in the corner, disruptive plays. They were definitely getting after each other, and also a big-time fight in that game, which helped turn the momentum for the Nashville Predators. When it comes to the time on ice leaders, it was 23-26 for Philip Forsberg, 22-07 for Ryan O'Reilly, 20-15 for Gus Nyquist on the defensive side of things, 25-42 for the captain, Roman Josi led all skaters, 21-27 for McDonough, 20-07 for Alex Carey. The Predators' power play ends up going 0-for-4 in this game. Your time on ice leaders, and it's an extensive amount of minutes, 548 for Forsberg, 547 for Nyquist, 536 for O'Reilly, 530 for Luke Evangelista, 539 for Ryan O'Reilly, but no conversions on that power play. When it comes to the penalty kill, Preds were 2 for 3. They gave up 1 power play goal against. Penalty kill time on ice leaders, 249 for Cole Smith, 230 for Colton Sissons. Overall leader, 322 for Ryan McDonough. A couple other numbers falling out here on the box score. Face-off winning percentage for the Predators, 52.6. Not a bad number. 28 hits, like that number. 13 blocked shots. Considering the Winnipeg Jets didn't end up with a very high shot volume for the night, only 22 shots on net. 13 blocked shots is actually a fairly impressive number. 12 takeaways, doubled up the 6 giveaways, which is good. The Predators were more protective of the puck in this game, which is always good. And in net, UC Saros 18 out of 22, 4 goals against. An in-game save percentage looks putrid, 0.818%. 15 even strength saves, 1 power play save, 2 shorthanded saves, and again, hung out early, but then recovered, got better as the game went along, and I felt like the light workload brings its own set of complications and problems, and UC Saros was able to remain focused and dialed in because the Winnipeg Jets certainly had a couple of really good scoring opportunities in the third period. Once the game got tied, Winnipeg did not back down. They were looking to win that game and deny the Nashville Predators the opportunity to clinch on home ice, but that's exactly what the Nashville Predators did, was clinch on home ice with 3 games remaining in the season. Very few people thought this was possible. Very few people predicted. I knew that the Nashville Predators could compete for a wild card spot going into this season. It wasn't based on what the Predators had done in the offseason. It wasn't based on the coaching. It was based on the fact that I knew that the division, the Central Division, was not going to be that strong, and the Predators could find themselves 4th, 5th in the Central, and that the Central could get 5 teams in the wild card. All of that analysis was just logical going into the season. Now, the Nashville Predators had to get things done, and they have, for 45 wins this season and 95 points. They've now clinched their playoff spot, and what that means is if they can finish in the first wild card, which is where they currently are, and have a 3-point lead over Vegas, 2 points over LA, just in case LA starts to get involved in the conversation yet again if they get displaced by Vegas. That means the Predators would face the lower division winner by points, and right now your 2 division leaders in the Western Conference are Dallas at 109 points and the Vancouver Canucks at 104 points. So you would be looking at Vegas facing off against the Dallas Stars in the first round, and the Predators would cross over into the Pacific bracket, and they would face off against the Vancouver Canucks. And we all remember the 3 games against Vancouver very early in the season when the Vancouver Canucks taught the Nashville Predators quite a few lessons in how to get up and get ready and get excited for a game. So for the Nashville Predators, it could be quite the unique series going to a best of 7 against the Vancouver Canucks. Right now, the Dallas Stars running away with the Central Division at 109 points look like they are going to win
the Western Conference race overall, and they are currently competing for the President's Trophy. So the Dallas Stars looks like they will get the number 1 seed in the West, and they will face the number 2 wildcard team, whether that is Vegas, Nashville, or LA. That's going to do it for this episode. Very excited for the Nashville Predators to clinch. Very excited to see the Nashville Predators going back to the postseason. I cannot wait to start getting into it and breaking it down once we have clarification on who the Predators will face. I have a feeling it's going to be the Vancouver Canucks, and it's one of the more interesting storylines. The Predators were just beaten almost to death by the Vancouver Canucks in the early portions of the season. And the storyline is quite different right now. I'd be curious to see how the Predators measure up to the Vancouver Canucks. I'm sure you remember that rant from earlier in the season. Don't worry, it'll be coming back if the Preds play the Canucks. Operation 901 is in the books. I sure do appreciate each and every one of you. Stay safe out there in all the storms that we're having this week across the Middle Tennessee area. Check out the YouTube page, support us on social media, and thank you so much. This is the most exciting time of the year, and this is our favorite time of the year. We are not only skating for a championship as the Renegades of Puck Hockey Club, but we're also covering a playoff team in the Nashville Predators, and that is just the best. The weather's getting better. The plants are all starting to bloom. It is a fantastic, fantastic time of year, except for them damn thunderstorms that like to pop up. That's why we're getting out of the bunker as quickly as we can before the next round gets here. I am your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate your time. And the most important thing of all, I appreciate each and every one of you. Stick taps, love, and respect.